isn't cut off, then that means my head won't be cut off because you're taller than me.
Alrighty then.
Cool. We're rolling, brother.
Excellent.
How are you doing today?
I am juicy, thank you.
Beautiful. How was your drive over here? You have a long drive?
No, I basically live up the street, so it's very nice.
Convenient. I'm jealous.
Yeah, be jealous louder. It's cheap for you and fun for me.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. I've been calling you Boris for the last like 2 weeks
Yeah.
because that's how you introduce yourself to a friend of mine. And then you tried teaching me your real name, which is a lot more complicated. So what is your actual name?
My actual name, which is not Boris,
Mhm.
is Vikenti.
Vikenti.
Yes.
Oh, that's not hard.
I know.
Maybe because I'm reading it, I'm like, because it's what origin is it?
It's Russian, but
Russian?
it's a rare fucking Russian name. I've only met 2 other men with it. And a fun way to remember it is wee cunty. So a little cunt, which I'm not, but phonetically it's similar. Vikenti.
I think I'm just gonna remember Vikanti.
All right.
That's not that hard. Or if not Vic, I can remember Vic.
Excellent.
Okay, but I'm gonna try Vikanti because I feel like the uniqueness of the name embodies the uniqueness of Vikanti.
Yeah. Thank you, Tony.
You're very welcome, man. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for talking. So the flow of it is just basically a normal conversation. We'll bullshit back and forth. And I sent you some questions earlier just to think about.
Yeah.
Goal of the podcast is to basically show the guy watching right now that men open up and talk about things. And even though he may feel that he can't or he doesn't have the right environment for it yet, we can do it for him. So, he gets to see he's not alone with some things.
Awesome.
And men go through struggles, and it's good to talk about it. Both in Brawley Brotherhood, we've experienced the beauty of that, sharing and supporting each other.
For sure. Are you, by this invitation to open up, are you calling me a can of beans? Kind of like Pop Goes the Weasel?
Something like that.
Something
Yeah,
like
we
that.
can call you a can of beans for today.
Thank you. I may get musical, so.
That's totally fine. So, how did you end up in Bali Brotherhood?
I know one of the founders, Ryan,
Mm-hmm.
and we met last year. I don't exactly remember how, but I think, yeah, we met in Ubud somehow, probably at one of the events. And then he's like, "Hey, I'm launching this thing. Want to come check it out?" And I came for a while, then I took a break, just working on my business, vacation, travel, and now I'm starting to visit it again.
Nice. Oh, so you started coming back recently.
Yeah, I've been gone since like February. I've only done 2, 3 visits in this last month or so.
Coincidentally, the same ones that I go to. Because I haven't been to every one.
You missed a couple? Oh
Did.
man.
I did. I don't plan on it. I don't like doing it. But I'm learning how important rest is.
Yeah.
My main modality is like efficiency and effectiveness. So like a lot of other men, I feel like if I'm not being productive, I'm worthless.
Yeah.
So it's a big struggle that I've been going through. And it wasn't until recently I met with a really productive dude who explained to me, he was like, Tony, if you're running on 15% because you haven't been getting sleep or rest, and you do that for the next 5 days, cool, you got 75% of one day's potential. Or you could rest for 2 days, chill, relax, recharge, do whatever the fuck you want, be playful, be a kid, and then come back for the next 3 days and be at 300% of one day's potential. You essentially 4x your productivity by taking 2 days off. And I was like, fuck, man, this dude's spinning. And then I took like 2-3 days of being off and just being playful and fun and like a kid again. It was incredible. I had a great time. I made a bunch of content. I got a bunch of things done. I had some epiphanies. I had some great ideas for what I'm doing. It was like a super 3 days. And then after that, I was well rested. And then I went back in my cycle of working too hard and not getting enough rest, and I had to remind myself. So I've been getting more rest again in the last couple of days.
Awesome. Just to clarify, because English not first language, sometimes I need to ask questions.
Yeah.
Okay? So, are you saying that this wise, highly productive man that you just quoted anonymously is implying, hinting, insinuating perhaps even that rest and play and being like a kid can be the catalyst and fuel to greater expansion, contribution, impact, fucking without killing yourself and your nervous system with stress and overwhelm?
Yeah, I think that's it. It reminds me of another gentleman's philosophy.
Really? Do tell.
hmm There's a guy that I know that's super playful, lots of analogies and different phrases that sometimes stumble me. And I try to stay calm and understand them and respond in a witty way. I can't always. And I've heard he does incredible things.
Really?
Yeah, I think his name is Boris.
Boris. Boris the Blade or the Boris the Brownie Dodger?
I don't know. But that's something that you work with a lot. Being playful. You're always playful. You always got some wise ass remark to say, which makes me smile. I don't always get it. I don't always have something witty to say back, but I always appreciate it.
Hmm. Thank you. That's
It's good
very good to
energy.
hear.
So, actually, I'd like to learn more about it, that, and I feel like we could tie it into the message of the podcast. I'm assuming you weren't always playful and childlike.
It was a bit of a bell curve actually.
Mm-hmm.
So until 8, 10, don't
Mm-hmm.
remember like the crash date, but I was always very open, very playful, silly, creative,
Mm-hmm.
and then a lot of judgment started coming in both from family and school, and I was like, okay, we're gonna try to pretend to be normal for a while just to be
Mm-hmm.
safe and to fit in, and that lasted probably until I totally burned and crashed in my IT job, where there's just too much containment, too much seriousness, propriety, and I was like, oh, fuck this, I'm quitting, and I just quit into nowhere
Mm-hmm.
because I couldn't take it anymore. I actually pulled up a photo for some of my students that I was working with a couple months ago and said, "This is Vikenti 10 years ago while still at IT." They're like, "Dude, you look like you're fucking suiciding."
Yeah,
Yeah. Corporate suit, blue, gray colors, just very dim, holding back my
I
voice.
can't imagine that.
Oh, it's amazing I didn't explode all those years.
Mm-hmm.
But, after I quit, there's been a lot of healing. And the more I own and the more I see other people owning their weird creative magic, whatever the fuck it is,
Mm-hmm.
it often doesn't look like anybody else's or a very unique perspective and spin on somebody else's thing. That's when I see the most healing and expansion happen. Kind of like what you said with of a numbers analogy. I fucking love that. You can be at 5 days for 15% and get nothing done. Yeah, because
Mm-hmm.
you're not being you. But the catch there is it's not just doing nothing or distracting yourself with things like porn and Netflix or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. It's like going like you did, going and doing something that recharges you,
Mm-hmm.
something that
Being
fuels you.
playful.
Playful, silly, whatever it is. It can be meditation, but usually, get the body involved.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really helped me a lot. I've done over 50 different types of sports.
Mm-hmm.
I think like 8 semi-professional level, and
Good for you. That's dope. I
yeah,
didn't know that about you.
yeah. Well, we only just met. This is our third date.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a bit of a journey. There's definitely been a lot of shit that's come up and old patterns that I had to work through. But at
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, once I realized that it's not my job to make anybody happy, including my parents and family, it's like, hey, you do
Mm-hmm.
you, I'll do me, and where it works for both of us, we'll connect.
So you said around like 8, 10, 12 is when like you started to shell up a little bit, and you were
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna hide who I am so I can kind of fit in and be the perfect person that that society wants me to be. And then the corporate job, that was like the turning point for you, where you were like, fuck being perfect and what everyone else wants. I'm miserable. I'm gonna take control of what I do. How long of a gap was that? Like from when you started to shell up to the point where you were like, nope, I'm gonna be me. Vic Vikenti.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Tony. Um, it's a good question. I quit my IT job in 2018,
Mm-hmm.
my final job, yeah. So, Jesus. Come on, math. Come on, brain. I know you're
Hmm.
up there.
So 7 years ago.
So that was 7 years ago. I was 30.
Hmm.
So about 20 years, actually. 20-year journey.
It's a long
So,
time.
yeah, I mean, there's been bits and pieces theater, improv, sales,
Hmm.
comedy, music, all that kind of stuff, but nowhere near the full blast of expression that it is today.
Level of authenticity.
Yeah,
That's one of the things in my mission, showing men that they don't need to be perfect. They need to be authentic and they need to be vulnerable.
sure.
So I was dope, but we didn't plan this at all. That lined up perfectly. Um, for the guy that's watching right now that feels like he still needs to be perfect, he still needs to do the things that his wife wants him to do, not because he wants to do it, but because
Mm-hmm.
his wife says he should, or maybe he's still, under the mental control of his parents, where his parents are like, you need to have this job, or you need to do this, or maybe it's just society, society saying this is what you need to do to be a man, and he feels like he can't be authentic, or he doesn't know what his authentic self is.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say to him?
That's a great question. I would invite to break it up into two parts.
Okay.
Like, if he doesn't know, that's one bit. And the other bit is do this thing because I'm telling you to, it makes me comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So, parents, girlfriend, wife, whatever it is. First of all, no, there's nothing fucking wrong with you. Absolutely. You're not meant to be normal, or if you're watching this, you're not meant to be normal, fit into a 9 to 5, corporate for a long fucking time. A lot of us weirdo creatives, entrepreneurs, we play that game for a bit, and then we're like, okay, this is like poison. And then we decide to stop taking it and actually eat nourishing food instead. So goodbye crispy squares, goodbye fucking cereal in America, hello normal healthy food that's actually nourishing. Goodbye distraction, hello life. So, everybody looks at the world and at life through their own lens and perspective. Yours is going to be different, a little bit or a lot. Both options are fine. And just because somebody says that you should wear a pink suit, drive a black Cadillac, become a rapper, a doctor, a lawyer,
Mm-hmm.
they're just looking through their tinted window, which does not necessarily and often doesn't match with yours and who you are inside.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing the best they can. Usually, friends and family are like, "You need to be safe in this stable job because pension benefits after 50 years of boring service." Like, I'm not gonna make it to the pension service level. I'm
Yeah.
gonna die tomorrow because this is fucking killing me. So, do what's right for you. Establish clear boundaries and in a healthy way, saying, "Hey, thank you for your input, but I tried it. It doesn't work for me. Here's an alternative. Let's try that." And give yourself room to experiment and play because like you said, 3 days, 2 days of being a kid and being playful, that shit will fucking skyrocket your health, your sleep, your sex drive, your money and opportunities because you will actually want to live this life.
Yep.
And if you don't want to live the life you're creating, well, how much effort are you going to put into that? Like fucking zero, close enough to it. You'll be surviving, you won't be playing and thriving, you won't be loving it.
Mm-hmm.
You might find it interesting. I see a lot of people getting caught up in that. They're like, I find this job interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes me happy, safe, successful, drastic. I think this is the right way. I think. And then, as they're talking, usually I see people's hearts and their bodies, how they're reacting, how their energy is just like, no, this is worse than live torture. So it's one bit. Give yourself the spaciousness and grace to play and experiment. Try a new hobby, try a new place, try a new friend, something that lights you up and gets you curious. And not just on a mental level, but where your entire body is like, yeah, more of this. It can be something stupid and silly, like watching cartoons about magic or Disney, where there's a lot of kindness and beauty.
Mm-hmm.
It can be shutting off for 2 days and just going surfing, chilling, whatever does it for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know and nothing has been, sparking your interest for a while, easy Google search, 100 most fun, amazing things to do. See what resonates from that. If nothing fucking resonates, give yourself the grace to try 5. Because sometimes we get stuck in the mental headspace, like nothing fucking works. There is no way this could be fun. So just try it out, break the cycle, and you can be surprised the kind of effects that can happen and the shifts and that can happen and how quickly. Because your people, they will fucking cheer you on even if they don't get it. Like, I have no idea what it is you're doing in Bali, doing all this weird entrepreneurship, wearing weird shirts, but I'm glad it makes you happy and money, and fucking go.
Mm-hmm.
Other people will try to pull you down, and then you ask, so what is this person contributing to my life, and do I really want to have them in my life? If it's a friend, thank them for the years of service and part ways.
Mm-hmm.
You won't be dragging them up, they won't be pulling you down, which is a great service to both of you. You'll save energy. And if it's family, well, it's another boundaries thing where it might be beneficial to talk to them and say, hey, appreciate the input,
Mm-hmm.
but your worldview is not working for me. With all due respect and love, can we find a way that does work for both of us and not just for you
Mm-hmm.
telling me how to live? Because I'm a grown fucking man. I have my own visions and desires, and thank you for your contribution, but your advice is not helpful.
Yeah.
So, in a nutshell, that's that.
First of all, thank you for that, Vikenti.
Thank you, Tony.
Um, yeah, that's that was powerful. All of it was powerful. The last part really resonated with me. Looking at people that might even say that they're supporting you, but are they? Are they saying they support you and they're doing things that pull you in the opposite direction? Or maybe not even that. Maybe just like you said, their worldview is so different than yours that it's like strenuous. Um, when I decided to move to Bali, I had a lot of pushback from family for different reasons. When I came back from Bali the first time, knowing I was going to move there, I had left my family marketing agency for separate reasons. So I had an aunt and uncle who treated me very differently than they did in the year and a half that I was there. Rest of my family, they were concerned. They didn't understand. Some of them pushed me away. Some of them didn't talk to me. Some of them called me out of my fucking mind. Um, Appreciate that. That's for the homie watching right now. Those are some hand signals we do in Bali Brotherhood. If someone says something that like we really fuck with and we're proud of them, like they had a breakthrough, we do something like that. And if they say something that you feel, give a little pat on the heart. Um, and there's even a situation right now that I'm dealing with something similar to that. So my dad and I are both diagnosed with bipolar, and he's lived a rough life. You know, hard upbringing growing up. He grew up in Queens, and he's made his mistakes. And he struggled with drug addiction for a while, and the bipolar is something that he accredits to a lot of the down parts of his life. In his mind, he tells himself like, "Well, I was on medication for a while and everything was good, and then I was off and things were fine for a long time because I thought I didn't need them, and then all this crazy shit happened again. I got back into addiction. I lost my family. I lost all my money because I spent it on coke and all these things. So in my dad's mind, it's very solidified that medication is the answer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and my dad is type 1 or there's two types of bipolar. One of them is like you might hold up a supermarket with a shotgun, and the other one's like you might go streaking. My
Mm-hmm.
dad's the more severe one. I'm more of the might go streaking for the fuck of it type one. So I've never done as crazy shit or gotten as bad as a rut as my dad, but I've gone through my phases. Like with my highs, make decisions without concerning the future because I feel like I'm bulletproof. Spending all my money because I'm not thinking about the future. Taking risks that I don't normally take. And in my depressions, shell up. I don't talk to nobody. I'm just depressed, man. Like I don't want to be social. I sit in my fucking room. I don't get sunlight. I don't get active. So I struggled that for a while. A lot of it I didn't know I struggled with, and there came a point where eventually I was like, you know what, like I've hated this whole idea of medicine for so long that I'm gonna try it. You know what? I've tried so many other things. Like I got nothing to lose. If I don't like it, I take off it. I get off them. So I did. Maybe like was it 2025, somewhere around COVID. Started taking meds, like a very small dosage, and it was only because the psychiatrist that I met, I felt like she cared. Like there were people I walked into the room for a psychiatrist, yeah, and like I walked in and they were like, "Oh, you're bipolar? Okay, here's your medication." And it's like, how in the fuck do you like what? Or like they listen for like 5 minutes and they're like, yeah, yeah, we're gonna prescribe these 7 medications to you, and I'm like, bro, like I don't like medication, and you're gonna. So my psychiatrist, she heard me out. I think the first consultation was like 2 hours. She heard everything that was going on in my life, what I was concerned about, and she put me on like the smallest doses possible. And it's something that I've continued to take. Even like when I moved to Bali, I got like a 1 year supply of the medication because I don't know how long I'm gonna be here. Plan on indefinitely. So I made sure I got the medication to always have. And it's kind of frustrating sometimes because like I'll talk to my dad, and like sometimes the first thing he asks me is like, "You're taking your meds, right? You're taking your meds, right?" It's like I'm at a point where I see how they supported me. Like I don't think they were ever the answer. I think they leveled me out to a point where I had more control over my mind and my thoughts, and I was able to take the right actions to move towards progress. And the only reason I haven't gotten off them is because I feel like getting off of them sometimes can disrupt things, and I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't know if it's the right decision yet, but it's not like I don't look at them as like they're the fucking end all be all, because I know people who have taken meds and even lots of doses of these meds and haven't done shit else to work on themselves, and they are no better off. They're just fucking numbed, zombie through life. Like, so I'm like, clearly the meds isn't working because like I've seen people take meds and get no results. On the other hand, I've seen some people not do meds and do some of the other stuff that I've done and have gotten the same results as me. So maybe the meds brought me to a point where I could accept this stuff, but I'm like, I don't. So it's frustrating because I'm at a point where I know at some point in my life I don't want to be on this medication, especially the way I've looked into history and how Rockefeller basically created the Western medical industry, putting petroleum in the medication basically to sell more oil and to make us all sick. So between all of that, I'm like, I don't want it. It's such a small dose and it doesn't have bad side effects for me now, but I'm like, I don't want to constantly put that in my body. I don't want to have to remember like and freak out if I miss a day or forget a day because I'm being childish and I'm on a fucking sporadic trip or something. So it's to what you were saying, like someone's worldview. My dad obviously just wants the best for me. In his mind, this medication is the best thing for me. And sometimes it's frustrating because like I'll hop on the call with him. I'm like, "Hey, how's your day?" And he'll be like, "Yeah, good, good, good. You're taking your meds, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Dad, I'm taking my meds." Like, can we talk about something else? Like anything else, anything under the fucking sun? How you're feeling? How I'm feeling? What I've been up to? The beautiful people that I meet? The wonderful weather that I'm? Anything under the fucking sun? And that's frustrating. And now that I'm talking to you about it, I realize like that's probably a boundary that I got to set with my dad. Like, because I've set other boundaries with communication with both my parents, where like they've brought things up. Like Bali was one of them. When I decided to move to Bali, that was a big topic. Maybe you're not making the right decision. Maybe you'll feel different about it soon. And it got to a point where I was like, hey, I love you. I'm not engaging in this conversation. So like, if you want to continue in this conversation, I'll walk away. I'll hang up the phone. That's what I'm gonna do. And it was rough saying that, and definitely tough holding through because I grew up being a people pleaser for a lot of my life, so that was fucking hard. But now they don't bring that up. They don't bring that up. We got a stronger relationship for it, so appreciate that. So thank you for sharing what you just shared because that just helped me realize something that I got to do.
Mm.
Um, you ever read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People?
It's been popping up in my field a lot, but I've never been called to it. No.
Yo, Vikenti, it is. It's been my favorite book on this planet for a very long time, and the dopamine rush I just got from saying that made me forget what I was going to say. Fuck it, if it's important, it'll come back to me. But yeah, great book,
Yeah.
great book.
Before we jump onto that, can I offer you some reflections about what you shared?
Please.
First of all, thank you for allowing yourself the space to open up like that. I think you're managing being bipolar extremely well.
Thank you.
Like, I have seen it before in people that I've interacted with. You're not a person who I'd be like, that guy.
Yeah.
So you're doing well. You know, you're sociable, you're outgoing, you connect well when you choose to. And just, again, for everybody who's watching, an analogy that just is yelling in my mind is if you're born into a family of doctors who have been doctors since fucking Jesus times, and you're the one guy who's like ballet dancing, a weird abstract art,
Mm-hmm.
fucking moving to Bali, opening up your own petting zoo,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody is looking at you. But we've been, my uncle's uncle and great grandfather, and like, yeah, and it's time for a change.
Mm-hmm.
That shit is great, and we need people like that. But I doesn't work for me. Like, I'm a smart guy. I was good at maths when I was in university and school and stuff. But can I do accounting? Yes. Can I do legal work? Yes. Do I want to? Fuck no.
Yeah.
And just the amount of grinding and effort that would require from me is not worth anything.
Mm-hmm.
So embrace your zone of genius. Nobody has to fucking get it in order for you to enjoy it, and to make results from it. Coming back to the original topic,
Mm-hmm.
men, a lot of us have been programmed with this bullshit. If you're not productive, you're worthless. It's like, really? What if just your presence with a friend, with your woman, with your family, like the psychiatrist you said, just her listening for 2 hours, taking the fucking time,
Yeah.
actually giving a shit, seeing you as a person, not as her 2 o'clock. How much of an impact, a positive impact, has that made versus like, okay, now serving 113, like 3 minutes, fuck off. What?
Yeah.
Thank you for not doing your job. Thank you for not caring, and thank you for being in a place where you fucking hate being, and you're actually being a disruptive and destructive kind of influence versus helping people.
Yeah.
So,
It's true.
yeah,
Honestly, my psychiatrist could be less intelligent and less qualified than the other people, and I probably still would have went for her. And I'm thankful. She is extremely intelligent, extremely qualified. Um, yeah.
rock on, man.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah,
Yeah, the whole medication thing has been something that's been going on for a long time. And for me, when people would talk about like, oh, like you should see a psychiatrist, I would say like the psychiatrist's only tool is medication. And if my problem's with medication, not a specific medicine, but if my problem is with taking petroleum-based medication, and I go to someone who only gives petroleum, like that's the answer. You know, like if you work with someone in crypto, they're not going to tell you to go put your money in stocks. They're going to tell you
yeah.
to put your money in crypto because that's what they learned. So that was a definitely a frustration with me, and yeah, it's been a journey.
Hmm,
It's definitely been a journey.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, 7 or 8 very highly qualified doctors with lab coats and diplomas and fucking golden era universe told me that I was going to be in a wheelchair in 6 months. I was like, no, that doesn't work for me. I'm going to find a different way. I found another doctor. He's like, you're going to be in a wheelchair in 6 months. I'm like, no. So, yeah, totally. They're like, I know this thing. It works the
Yeah.
way I don't care, and it just gets mediocre results. I'm like, great.
Mm-hmm.
Bye now. And, I found alternatives, non invasive. I cured and, fixed my back. I had massive hernias, massive pain, tension, immobility, and now I'm still No fucking problems.
I never would have known. Would you mind sharing what happened, or was it something that
No,
was acute, or something that just happened over time?
uh, it accumulated in large part because I was working in IT and I worked there for like 6 years. First 2 years were great. New expansion startup, wearing all the hats at once,
Mm-hmm.
versatility, diversity, fucking play, learn, improve.
Mm-hmm.
And then I hit a ceiling, and they're like, "We're not going to invest or change, and there's no opportunity." I was like,
Mm.
So, depression, anxiety, alcohol, boredom, apathy. So basically, get up in the morning, go to a job that is no longer fun, and after a while, started dealing like a prison sentence, what I fucking hated. Getting 3, 4 large fucking cups of coffee just to get through the day because I don't want this, but we have to stay awake. In the evening, drinking to take off the stress. So acute dehydration and stress and cortisol spikes, creating a lot of tension. And then I was playing badminton. I fell, and my hernia just said, "Okay, this is the time where we're gonna burst, and you're gonna need some downtime to reflect about the choices you've been making." So I had three, two in my lower back and one in my neck. Now they're fucking gone. No surgery, just holistic medicine plus healing plus supplements. And you don't have to choose just one, you can use both. And it was just incredible. So, there's a lot of shit that I discovered that was packed in there because our body is communicating with us every day,
Yeah.
including the things that we wear, the movement that we choose to do, what we eat, how we eat, and how we experience it. A lot of us get hooked onto things like sugar, coffee, alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
some also smoking, and the moment switch flips is like, yeah, it tastes kind of stimulating,
Mm-hmm.
but how do you feel 30 minutes after eating a cookie
Mm-hmm.
versus 30 minutes after eating an avocado? Where do
Yeah.
you feel better? Are you
Mm-hmm.
satiated with the avocado, or are you still craving shit?
Yep.
And when you're craving, what are you craving? Are you craving shit, or are you craving something that's actually healthy and good
Yeah.
for you and feels good? So yeah, my entire body just shut down, fucking everything, nervous system, all the joints, all the back, liver. My intestinal flora was zero, like zero. It was, I don't remember, 10,000 times
Mm-hmm.
less than norm.
Oh shit.
Yeah, except you can't because there's no flora. So I regulated a lot of that. Now everything's fine, and just, this was a big journey of recognizing my own path
Yeah.
because I was feeding my family for a couple of years, grandparents, mother and brother. Nobody was working. There was a lot of money going out, and they're like, "So you're gonna leave your job and do something that's stupid and weird, and we don't understand, and we think you're crazy. Who's gonna feed us?" Like, well, this is taken care of, this is taken care of, and this is taken care of, and we have a buffer period. Right? We still don't like it. I'm like, great. Alternative is I die in 3 months. They're like, oh, we're not ready to hear that. Let's go back to the coffee and alcohol thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like you said, find the people, find the books, the activities, the place to live, the job
Yeah.
that vibes, that gives you energy instead of being the drainer. Very simple. Coming back to numbers and productivity, if you buy an investment like a real estate, for example, that gives you a profit of $100 a month, you
Mm-hmm.
can do fuck all with it for the rest of your life, and it will not take anything from you. You'll get $100.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's draining even $5 a month, how long can you sustain it? Especially if you're going through a shitty period,
Yeah.
or your other investments have crashed, if your job opportunity crashed, if your health is in crisis and you can't dedicate it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sure, $5 doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're in a tight spot,
And it adds up.
it adds up. Yeah, and it just creates unnecessary psychological baggage because even if $5 doesn't mean much, you're like, I made this stupid investment.
Yeah.
I'm not being productive and useful as a man. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not good. I'm not deserving, and all this blah blah blah.
Thank you for sharing that. I love your perspective on the situation. I feel like a lot of men, if they were to deal with something like that, like they already are upset with their job, they're drinking, they're dehydrated with the coffee, and then like three herniated discs,
One ruptured.
one ruptured. I feel like most men will be like ready to quit life. Just be like, this is the end. And you took it a totally different way. You were like, fuck, what led up to this? What have I, like there might have been some other influences that you couldn't have controlled. I don't know anything about herniated discs, but maybe, you know, the chairs at work weren't right. That you could have blamed the chairs at work, or maybe genetics. I'm talking out of my ass. There's a million things you could have blamed, but you were like, what do I have control in? Out of all these things, what do I have control in? And you were like, oh, drinking too much coffee, drinking the alcohol, working a job I fucking hate, probably sitting down all day because it's IT work, and you fucking changed it. And there's a couple other things that I like. You said, you might feel good eating a cookie, but how do you feel 30 minutes later? But as opposed to how do you feel when you're eating avocado, and how do you, that I just created like a 9-day course, and one of the days is specifically on food, and I'm learning to forgive myself in general. So I put that in the lesson, and I was like, yo, I'm like, if you eat bad, forgive yourself. Never be hard on yourself because you ate like shit, but take notice how you feel after you have that McDonald's, that KFC, whatever it may be. So it's interesting you said that. And one last thing that you said that really resonated with me was how when you decided to make these changes and leave the job with security, when you were taking care of the family and you were feeding all these mouths, and decided to do something totally out of left field because that's what your heart was telling you. You basically faced rejection from the people closest to you. They were like, "You're fucking crazy. What are you talking?" I feel like that's important. Like to be, not every man will go through that rejection, especially from like people that close to them. But I feel like it's important to hear more about that. If you don't mind sharing what that was like and what got you through that, because I faced something similar, and I'm just starting to learn how I was able to get through it. So I'd be curious to know what was your how.
Curious question. Thank you for asking. Um, so I've been doing spirituality for like 20 years. So I already starting first year university, I found a book on my friend's table. I'm like, what's this? It'll blow your mind. It was a book about shamanism and Carlos Castaneda. It was my first touches. I didn't understand most of it, but it felt right, kind of like a Carnegie book for you. So I was like, what else can I learn? What else is out there? And I just kept searching because it felt right. It felt good. It gave me energy. It was interesting. It was stimulating, not just here, but here.
Yeah,
So I was like, I don't know what a practical use for any of this is, but I find this fascinating because it's not, 180 opposite view on what society said. It's like from here,
yeah,
which is creative, fun, weird, interesting, new. So uh, probably about 13 years by today, I started taking stock of what my grandparents are like, what their lives are like, what their relationships are like with their children, with their parents, and with us. And I'm like, there is no fucking way in hell, no way that I want to be where they are.
yeah.
No fucking way. And I was like, so, like you said earlier, do this thing because, our entire family has been doing it. Are you taking your medication? I'm like, that's great. That worked for you. Your
Mhm.
result is this. I don't want this. I want a different result.
Yeah.
So, people pleasing, setting boundaries. I'm like, everybody's fucking riding me. I'm not up for that. I'm just being eaten alive. Fuck that.
Hmm.
And there was always a knowing that there is something more, something more, something more, better and easier and faster. And at one point, I met a girl on Tinder. We had an amazing time. She's like, "Oh, and by the way, here's an Excel file of like 100 spiritual things and books and activities." I'm like, "Okay, this is something new on the Tinder date. Sure, why
Yeah.
not?" But I liked her.
Hookups and education.
Yeah. No, but she's good. Um, Then we broke up a couple of months later, and like 3 years later, having done a lot of the work, I texted her, I replied to her messages like, if ever you need any help or something, drop me a line. I text her, I'm like, bitch, fucking thank you for setting me free. You saved my life. She's like, oh my God, you kept this? I'm like, yeah, because, that was just the get out of jail free card. We met, I gave her flowers, she's married, she's happy, she's amazing, but, after that, we finished. So the thing that kept me going is, it felt like I was collecting a lot of the little pieces that I needed to be this today. And that involved learning and studying more than 70 different spiritual modalities and approaches and techniques. It's like, this works, it doesn't work anymore. This, no fucking way. It's like, ooh, yes. Okay, we're done. So I integrated these parts of myself, and at one point, with the help of this girl also, I got to a certain level after about 2 years of work every night. Doesn't matter. Tired, drunk, angry, sad. Fucking 2 hours in the evening before bed. We're doing this because there's got to be a better life out there. And after about 2 years, I felt I was in a good place. So I'm like, so where are the other people who are in the same vibe? So I started poking around. I found this esoteric shop in Moscow, and I met a couple of people, and I'm like, oh, we're kind of similar. How do you guys get here? They're like, well, I did 20 years of Buddhism, 20 years of Hinduism, 20 years of shamanism, 20 years of something elseism. I'm like, okay, I got here in two. So kind of sounds like, with all due respect, because I've studied all these things, they're great, and there are simpler and faster ways of doing things now. iPhone 1 was a miracle 25 years ago. Now it's a fucking antique. Similarly with modalities who were invented 2,500 years ago. So I just, kept looking and looking and searching until I found the tools and energies that I'm using today, which are so fucking simple. They are so fucking fun. I've seen people go from, oh my God, fuck you, everyone, to holy shit, that was a nice, juicy orgasm I just had in 30 seconds. People wake up from, I hate my job, I don't know what the fuck to do. He's like, and I get the download. How would you feel about writing colorful children's books? Like, yeah, my wife and I have been talking about it for years, but we've never done it. Here's your permission slip. 2 weeks later, we wrote the first one. Another week later, we wrote the second one. I'm like, cool. So, the essence is trusting myself and knowing that there's something more, something better, deeper, faster, more efficient, coming back to productivity, than the shit that we've been fed through media, through lineage and friends and society and conventions. Those things work as a foundation, sure, but we're in a massive fucking upgrade time. AI, crypto, like where did those come from, and how much has our life changed in the last couple of years that that's been around, and it's only just starting. All these things that used to be very taboo and very crazy, and there's still a lot of resistance to it in the world, and people are having massive breakthroughs. Look at you know is it okay if I quote big names in the industry?
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever
so
you want. This is permission to be real, brother.
all right,
Just be real.
thank you. So, people like Joe Dispenza, who I greatly admire and respect, and he's publishing all these studies and brain scans and hormone studies and whatever else scientific evidence that they're doing. Cancer? No cancer. PTSD? No PTSD. Fucking spinal cord injury? No spinal cord injury. Sometimes in as little as 4.5 minutes to cure cancer. Like when I saw that on their YouTube, I'm like, I don't know how, why, as long as it works. Who gives a shit? Call it placebo, call it determination, call it fucking a belief in yourself and miracles, whatever it is, it's fucking working. Medicine is starting to embrace it, technology is starting to embrace it. Use it. Like, this is something I dabbled with last year, and we did a couple of brain scans, and like, holy shit, 15-minute session, chakra 30% open, chakra 80% open. Polarity, like hemisphere alignment, 30%, 80%. Hormone balance in the brain. Oh my god, holy shit, I'm stressed and vague and all over the place versus, hey. So, there's lots more to come there. So, whatever it is, keep finding that thread that works for you. Even if everybody And by the way, guys, if everybody around you is telling you that you're gonna fail and you suck, that's probably a good indicator that A, you either need to set boundaries or say goodbye to the people. And I know it may be challenging because, as I was going on my journey, there's been a lot of social circles that I had to let go for this reason.
Yeah.
Most of it was very easy, very organic, and it's like, hey, you're crazy. I'm like,
Sure.
sure, yeah, I think you're crazy too. It's like, "Mwah, love you, thank you, goodbye. And it's clean cut, it's nice. But, oh, shit. Come on. Come on, brain, I know you're in there. I saw you yesterday. There was a good thought I had here. Letting go of. Yeah, I have one remaining friend from like university years, 20 years and going. He's a normal guy. He's a good guy. He's smart. He's intelligent. He's a good husband. He just had a kid. But like, how's the weather? And 30 minutes of nothing. Like, okay, this is
Yeah.
I. That's it. Just have a good one.
Mhm.
There's no traction there. There is no acceleration. There's no pump. There's no drive. There's nothing.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a fuck you kind of clean cut. So it's like, hey, we like different things. The things I do, he's not interested in at all.
Yeah.
The lifestyle he has, 15 years in the same job, in the same company,
Not something you're interested in.
no.
Hold on 1 second. I just want to make sure we're still rolling because battery. All right, cool. Yeah, the battery might die at any given point.
Yeah,
I left my good portable charger at home
yeah.
charging. So now we're using my bad portable charger, which might not charge it fast enough to keep the
Gotcha.
thing going. So, but we are still rolling, so we're good.
Okay. Well, I have about 15 minutes more, so I'm happy to go for as long as we can.
Dope. So, first of all, thank you. This has been, in my opinion, one of the more interesting ones we've done so far. It's been real. I feel like it's given tangible advice to people at home, that the guy at home right now that might be going through something similar or feeling in similar ways to either of us. Let's talk a little bit about the future.
Ooh, kinky.
What do you got coming up? What are you excited for?
So one of those crazy ideas that's been in my mind for quite a while is I'm a former IT guy. I love being lazy. I love automation. I love systems processes. For me, all these apps that we have, push a button, it does this much work, but you don't have to see any of it.
Yeah.
So my own magic opened up, my own modality opened up about 3-4 years ago, and I started doing things much simpler, much quicker, much more simple than all the schools that I've been learning.
Mm-hmm.
So I launched it a couple of months ago, and I'm looking to scale that more and help people normalize and master their magic, their intuitive
Okay.
abilities, how their brain works, how their neural system works,
Mm-hmm.
how their hormonal system works, how they process information.
And this is like a course that someone could take at home on their own time, or is it something that you interact with them through like webinars?
Right now, it's in the webinar stage. I
Mm-hmm.
will be doing good recordings in the near future, creating a data bank, and then yeah, you can access that at your own leisurely pace and just learn the things. One of my favorite things about it is it's simple, it's powerful, and there is like no fucking mind fuckery. What if here's a tool? You guys want a tool? Anytime you feel stuck in your head, something that doesn't feel light or like you, the real you, not the mental image you have of you, point your attention there and say mind cleanse. Cleanse the mind and just see what shifts.
Mm-hmm.
Tool is simple, powerful, and universal. If you're in a cafe, somebody's talking loud, you're getting pissed off. Direct your attention there, mind cleanse.
Mm.
If you're stuck in traffic and that fucking asshole doesn't have his blinker on, he's cutting you off for a third time, mind cleanse.
Yeah.
If
Wow.
your thoughts are racing before going to bed, mind cleanse.
Yeah.
So, just see what it opens up for you.
So you're excited for the new webinar thing that you're doing? That's eventually going to be a course or a database that people could access anytime. What else? You're multifaceted. That can't be
Yeah.
the only thing
No,
that you have coming up that's
no,
exciting that you're
no.
looking forward to.
You're a sneaky one, very intuitive, yeah. Um, I feel like there's a wonderful lady that's about to enter my life. Being a wizard, my spider senses have been tingling for a while, and the signal is getting stronger and stronger,
Uh huh.
which is wonderful. One of the challenges again for me was with all these up levels and circle shifts
Mm-hmm.
is not feeling fulfilled in relationships because we're just not a match.
Yeah.
There was other stuff there, but for the sake of time, just it's been a while, and I'm ready to embrace relationships in a totally different vibe and level and connection, which is
Yeah.
great. Doing more travel. I got invited to an eco village in Costa Rica called Starseed Village, kind of
Uh-huh.
like Ubud but on a grander scale,
Okay.
to create 2 portal gardens there.
To what?
Portal gardens.
Portal Gardens. Oh, is that when they have like the architecture where it literally looks like a portal?
We're going to be playing with that, yeah. It's going to be
Okay.
probably based more around flowers and kind of landscape architecture.
Uh-huh.
So the first one is going to be helping people to attune to what type of magic lives inside them and how to use it.
Uh-huh.
So they're like, oh, I have dragon magic, and I'm fiery, I'm passionate, I'm creative, I'm
Yeah.
a leader, I like to make money. And the other one is attuned to their soul family. So a
Uh-huh.
lot of people start getting visions or messages or
Mhm.
pictures, and they don't know where the fuck it's coming from. So this will be a cool way for you to come into the portal garden and be like, oh, I'm connected to Andromeda, which are they're easeful, they're kind, they do a lot of soul and heart healing. Like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, that sounds like me. Or an Arcturian who's more techie based, and they're like, oh, so that's why I've been getting visions about crypto and investment and shit. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. I'm going to be going in November, probably staying for about a month to create this and then to facilitate the workshop there. And the land there is fucking incredible. It was the most magic place on earth that I've seen so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, even more so than Bali by a lot.
That's amazing because Bali is the most incredible place I've been to. So you're excited for your webinars coming up that you're going to put into a database. You're excited because you can feel the magic of a lady friend coming along,
Yeah,
the right one,
the right woman. Yes.
because you're very far removed from normal society. Um, so it's definitely got to be challenging finding someone that's on the same wavelength that can even begin to understand the stuff you've been through and where you're at now. So that's dope that your magic senses, spidey senses are tingling on that. And then you have your portal gardens.
Yeah,
that you're doing. Where in the world are they again?
that's going to be in Costa Rica. And if you guys want to check it out, Google starseedvillage.com or invest.starseedvillage.com. I forget the URL. Incredible community, wonderful people setting it up. The most magical place on earth that I've seen so far. Portals, fairies, leprechauns running around the place, and it's amazing and hilarious. There's another life hack that I'd like to share.
Please do. We have
Um,
limited time.
Excellent. A lot of this journey has been really, really fucking dark, including fuck this planet, blow my brains out, suicide, and so last year I discovered a lot of this was linked to mold poisoning, which can fuck with your hormones, with your sleep. You get shitty sleep, less testosterone, less motivation, less drive, less money, less libido, less fun. So I discovered a guy called Dave Asprey. His bulletproof diet and mold detox protocols are fucking amazing. Check it out if you're experiencing low motivation, brain fog, anxiety, depression, bloating, inflammation. Just give it a read. It's $10 on Amazon. It is fucking incredible. It's changed my life. It's changed the way I view food, my body, and I've been sleeping so much better in the last 2 weeks since I started this. And after I did the mold cleanse earlier this year, you would not believe what kind of storage capacity your body has, and sometimes you gotta let those people go. So yeah, thank you for having me. It's been a wonderful pleasure.
Thank you, man. I'm really happy you came through.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut this. We'll say
Snip it, baby.
goodbye. Did we make it all the way through? Yeah.